And his starting lineup: Showalter, Koenig, Hayes, Happ, and Brown, 4 seniors and a sophomore. And for Villanova, the defending national champions Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Chris Jenkins. Jay Wright is the head coach. Our officiating crew: Pat Driscoll, Anthony Jordan, and Greg Nixon. The alternate is Bert Smith.
And Vern, if you're a #1 seed, you know, Villanova, you win your first game, then you look up and you say, hey, we got Wisconsin. It's a pretty good challenge.
Yes, it is.
For the second game of the tournament for them.
Chris Jenkins, Josh Hart. Hart picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half against Mount St. Mary's, but he's on the mark with his first shot against the Badgers.
We see a little quick half-court trap for Villanova. Happ will help to clear that as a big guy stepping away, but they're going to try to get those guys down low and get them active early on the blocks.
Happ has it tapped away by Mikal Bridges. Off the mark, the foul is called.
This little jumper, little pull-up. I think Hart, right from the beginning, knows that he has the elevation in his jumper to go over Showalter. Ends up at the line with that nice challenge off the dribble to create some opportunities going towards the basket early for Hart.
He has one more. He's a 75% shooter for the season.
You know, as a player too, Vern, we're only less than a minute into this game. And it may not factor in, but if you're Hayes right now, you just picked up your first foul. Just let's keep an eye on making sure that he doesn't take Wisconsin out of their rotation by picking up another one, say, in the next 3 or 4 minutes. That could be really hurtful for Wisconsin.
Here's Nigel Hayes. Bronson Koenig had a career night from 3 the other night. He set a personal best of 8 made threes. 28 points for the game. Here's Vito Brown. That one sings.
Very nicely done. And that diagonal out pass by Happ when they try to get it into the post. And keep in mind, Wisconsin in the Virginia Tech game, their first game, they didn't really focus on the blocks that much offensively, but this game I think they will.
Hart has to adjust. Can't make the pass, and Happ tracks it down. Ethan Happ, second team All-American, just a sophomore. He got in foul trouble the other night in their first game. Into the corner. Missed by Showalter.
It's a good skip and a good shot, though, by Showalter, a guy who can shoot the basketball from three-point range at 40%. Nice dish.
Nigel Hayes is fouled, who will go to the line.
Little simple basketball, and you know, when you look at both of these teams, the coaching is superb, and it translates out onto the court, because both of these teams will take extra time in passing the basketball and making sure they get a good shot.
Nigel Hayes, 59% from the line on the year. One more.
Long way to go, but at the line is an advantage to Villanova from a percentage standpoint, 79% versus 64 for Wisconsin. We'll see if that plays into this game this afternoon.
Wisconsin from the line is like 321st in the country with 65%, and Villanova is the best free throw shooting team in the country. Travel.
So you're saying Wisconsin's numbers need to improve a bit, eh?
I would, yeah, I would, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you.
That's my analysis. Who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? If your bracket is already busted, play the Capital One NCAA Tournament Run Game on NCAA.com and in the March Madness Live app. They look inside for Happ.
Notice the attention they're giving out front, too.
Beautiful pass. Yep. One bounce in a perfect position for Happ to receive it.
Well, One of the things that Villanova does not want to do, they do not want to allow Koenig to get shooting early. He was 8 for 17 from 3, so watch the focus defensively on him. That means Wisconsin's going to have to make the extra pass away from him.
Too strong for Jalen Brunson, the sophomore. Take another look at Ethan Happ.
Yeah, and he's effective for a couple of reasons too, Vern. When you see him down there, not only does he position himself well and catch and go like this one here, and he turns away from, and a good delivery on the pass, but he's exceptional at passing the basketball out of double teams, or what appears to be double teams.
Koenig and Hayes.
And a trap at the half-court line for Villanova, but this team is not going to be rattled too much by that.
There's Happ again. Little swipe. Dante DiVincenzo.
Happ is listed at 6'10", and I was standing by him at practice the other day. I'm not sure he's a true 6'10", but he's listed at 6'10". Still has 2 or 3 inches down low there on the blocks with the size advantage, so why not get it to him and make Jay Wright change?
Turnover, Villanova. Wisconsin leads by 4. Here's Koenig. Screen from Happ.
We're starting to anticipate that many needless and careless fouls from either of these two teams.
Koenig. Up and Bondu got the roll.
Pretty job. That's a difficult drive because you have to extend a little bit further than you may want to, because defensively he tracked and felt the Villanova defender was on his right hip, Vern, so he knew he had to extend a little bit more, but Wisconsin pretty comfortable, +6 here.
9 unanswered now for the Badgers. This is Chris Jenkins. Had a really, nice speed. Pascal. It won't fall. Pascal.
So you try to settle in against the defending champs with some nice moves to the basket. There's one little ball fake and keep it moving. Good start by the Badgers.
(9-3) Wisconsin. Let's introduce the third member of our crew. Please say hi to Allie LaForce.
Vernon, Jim, many of us were surprised when Villanova got out to that slow start against Mount St. Mary's in their opening game, not scoring for the first 6 minutes and only leading in that first half for 46 total seconds. And so we asked Coach Wright what happened, and he simply said, I think a little bit of it was nerves. Yes, the defending national champions still get nervous even in their opening game. He said what really hurt us is it took us an entire half to adjust, and now after the slow start today, I don't think they can afford waiting until halftime to make these adjustments. It's one thing they do very well, though.
I agree with you, Allie, on that. Just keep in mind, as you very well know, the competition level has inched up a little bit. Not to knock Mount St. Mary's at all, but this Wisconsin team is a very, very strong team. They execute well at the offensive end also.
Entry pass, 6 unanswered. Here's Showalter for 3. That rebound into the hands of Jalen Brunson, the sophomore guard. Here's Jenkins. That's off the mark. Boy, he is having shooting woes. First game, he couldn't find the basket. Of course, that last pull-up 3 remind you of anything last year?
Just a touch.
Yeah, except it didn't go down. And here is Dante DiVincenzo. Had a foot injury after 8 games last year, so he was given a medical red shirt. Jay Wright knew what he had in this young man, though, and boy, he was brilliant in that come-from-behind game over Mount St. Mary's.
He sure was. Put 25 points up against St. John's in the Big East tournament. It's a nice tip back, and then he comes back, like you said, 21. How about the 13 rebounds? He gets his hands on the offensive glass. Just very, very active. Does not look like a youngster. You could almost argue that he looks like a senior.
And there was a moment of which he will be reminded after the season. This was 1, this is 2.
That was more like me, the second one, Vern. The first one, not quite. It was up way too high for me. But he shook it off.
Yeah, he had a really, really solid game. DiVincenzo is on the floor now. Dimitri Trice is out for Wisconsin. Jumper by, there you go.
He is just playing through the big stage. There's no question about it. Very confident, and clearly Jay Wright is understanding that, and he's going to give him plenty of minutes.
Villanova team doesn't go really deep. That one's in and out, tipped. Hap has it. And there's Josh Hart, and he, as I believe, fouled. Yes.
And they may have gotten Hap on the second of the two jumps just then.
It was Hap, his first. And Vito Brown is going to come right back. They're going to put Hap on the bench and save him.
Yeah, there's the hand. You see the right hand coming across. So that's on Hap. Keep in mind, Vern, as you recall in the Virginia Tech game, Hap had some foul troubles early too. So
now Greg Gard is going to rest him at the 14-15 mark. He picked up 2 quickies in the first half and had to sit the last 10 minutes of the first half 2 nights ago.
And I know that Greg Gard does not want to take a chance of that. He's tired, so get him off the floor, but also don't pick up that extra foul.
DiVincenzo follows his own miss and kicks it outside. Jenkins, no. He's 0 for 2. Bridges,
Well, I'll tell you, watching Jenkins shoot the ball, I wouldn't tell him to do anything different with that flow to his shot.
Khalil Iverson, number 21, he had a big game the other night off the bench. Here's Koenig, Vito Brown.
Spread the floor, they got 3 on 2.
Darrell Reynolds gets it back outside, almost. From the corner, got it again. Dante DiVincenzo.
But when you look out on the floor, out of the 10 guys out there, who's the guy who looks like he wants the ball and shoot it? He's really, really craving the ball to get a shot off.
7-0 run is now stopped by Vito Brown of Wisconsin, 12-10. Hap is going to come right back in.
Yep, he got his little bit of a rest.
Yep. DiVincenzo. 12-10 Badgers. Jenkins 0 for 3.
Boy, I like that decision by Jenkins, too, to go against the smaller guy. He had Hill on the blocks, able to jump over him. But, boy, you start talking about pressing. Maybe there's an early mental press going on with Jenkins.
Koenig was on the line. Follow Bleacher Report on Instagram and get the coolest sports content before anyone else. Join millions of others and follow Bleacher Report on Instagram now. Third turnover for Wisconsin here in the early going. Villanova has 3 as well.
Easy, guys.
Jordan Hill is on the floor for the Badgers. Number 11, Jenkins 0 for 4.
And Jenkins, as we mentioned, against Mount St. Mary's, 2 for 13. Here he smartly goes into the lane. Little flip shot, can't get it to go.
More, here's Allie.
We asked Coach if he pulled him aside and talked to him about his poor shooting performance to give him some confidence. He told him, no fear of sleeping on the streets, no fear in this bad program. You got to just keep shooting through it.
Interesting concept, huh?
Yes, it is. That one is saved nicely. I think it was Brunson. Here's Josh Hart. What a spin move. Hart misses. Foul call. And time is up.
Yep, with Wisconsin up a pair.
Watching the big dance calls for big refreshment. So grab a delicious ice cold Coca-Cola and enjoy the game. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. And just a moment ago, second foul on number 22, Ethan Hap.
And he tried to stay away smartly, but not enough because of the guy at the line, Hart, who is very good, Vern, at being able to sense out bodies coming at him. And he's not afraid to use his body to graze up against you to get a call.
Hart with one more. Well, in the game against Virginia Tech, Ethan Happ picked up his second foul just beyond the 10-minute mark. So he sat the rest of that half. We'll see if that happens here.
Good luck.
Such a gifted player.
He sure is. Leads them in steals in the conference, too, so they need him defensively.
Wisconsin and Villanova tied at 12.
Well, Brunson just missed a push steal. It's been effective. Shot clock is working down, Vern.
5 on the shot clock. Koenig pull-up jumper. Oh, he is so gifted as a shooter. My gosh.
You know what he's very good at, too? Once he's got a terrific understanding of that last push to the floor, and he realized that the guy is going to go by him, so now I know I'm going to have a straight-up pull-up jump shot, and he does just that. Here comes Hart around the corner. He's looking for a call there. And watch Koenig. He sees clearance because the defenders aren't on him, and he's got a beautiful pull-up jump shot with a great rotation and extension.
And they get it in the hands of Brunson. Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, Darrell Reynolds, and Chris Jenkins on the floor for the Wildcats. No call. Hart. And they got Showalter, I believe. No. Anyway, the most legendary players in Survivor history are about to face a jaw-dropping twist. All new Survivor Game Changers Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
Vernon, that first game we saw the West Virginia team put the half-court trap on at half-court, and that's what Villanova's trying to do. It's a different style, though, isn't it? I would say it's almost more passive than what West Virginia did with their aggressive hunt-you-down double teaming.
Well, that was called a travel violation on the last possession. Here's Koenig. Ball is kicked. So they'll reset to 15 seconds. 10:21 to go. Badgers up by 2. They were an 8 seed, and there was some degree of disappointment expressed in Madison at that seed. They thought they deserved lower.
Eventually, you're going to have to play everybody.
Good point. Koenig back out.
See how they're focusing on him. My goodness.
See how effective it was?
I'm going to start stealing your line and still say, wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing this for 4 years.
Yes.
For the Badgers. One of 4 senior starters.
In 48 hours in Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, I know he didn't go for a stroll. I bet he was in the gym practicing.
Oh, I bet.
Nigel Hayes. Nigel Hayes is playing his 149th game for Wisconsin. Koenig is just behind him.
I haven't been too effective getting Hayes any touches. He has no shots yet. He's got Hart guarding. He's a very good defensive player.
Brunson reaches in. There's the spin move and a foul after the made basket.
So Hayes at 6'8", 240, and Hart 6'3", 215. I love the isolation on the blocks, and he is very patient, recognizing that there is help coming. And now watch this. Koenig just separates and takes Reynolds. Once again, it's the little guy versus the big. Height is neutralized, and you go after him.
Alex Ilikanen was on for a couple of minutes. Now he's back on the bench, and so is Koenig. Dimitri Trice, number 0, is on the floor. Nigel Hayes cans the free throw. An 8-0 run. And Wisconsin leads by that same margin.
So another challenge for Villanova, as they did against Mount St. Mary's in the first game they played.
DiVincenzo air ball. Haskell gets it in the corner, and Josh Hart cans it for 3. Showalter, Vito Brown.
You see that close defensively isn't that aggressive at half court.
Oh dear.
That might have been a deflection though.
Yeah, Khalil Iverson started the cut. West Virginia defeats Notre Dame here, and they are headed to San Jose. Wildcats are doing pretty good in this, fairly well.
Sure are.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Every once in a while, the Texan in me comes out.
Nice step.
Hart.
Every so often, Hart steps through and steals a ball too.
Player of the year in your mind?
There are a couple of them out there, but he's right up
He's
there.
on the short list.
Yeah,
right.
he sure is.
Wisconsin calls timeout. Jay Wright asking for an explanation from Pat Driscoll. Of what? I'm not sure. Time call. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. Well, Villanova, this is not an unaccustomed spot for them in the round of 32. In 10, 14, and 15, they lost each time as either a 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah, and sometimes you forget that because of what they did last year as national champs. But Jay Wright has plenty of confidence in his team. And, you know, they're hanging in there, not a terrific first half by any means, but you know, this is a different style to play against Wisconsin. A team like Butler in their division, in their league, would be similar to this style with Wisconsin.
Well, Villanova lost 3 times this year. Here's Hart again off the front rim. Chris Jenkins, jumper, finally.
Yeah, if he misses a one-dribble pull-up jumper facing up with nobody next to him, then Villanova has big problems. That's a sigh of relief for everybody following the Wildcats.
He is the first Wildcat other than Hart or DiVincenzo to score in the game. 7.5 to go. Vito Brown saves it into the corner. Zach Showalter got it. Nice.
When you watch like the San Antonio Spurs plays, they're such a great team, and they utilize the last 5 or 6 seconds of the shot clock very, very well. Watch Wisconsin as that shot clock gets to 5 and under. They're willing to make 2 passes sometimes to get a better look.
Jenkins, front rim.
Streaky shooter tried to get it going. That was a little bit of a force, though.
Knocked out of bounds by Vito Brown, so Villanova will have the ball. 22-19 Badgers. We welcome you back to Buffalo. Second round game with Wisconsin leading despite no second chance points. 9 for Villanova. But Bronson Koenig has had a good start to this ball game.
Again, his second straight one that he's played well. I love the pull-up jumper. He gets you leaning towards the middle of the floor, thinking you're going to drive. And the question mark continues to be a little bit 1 of 6 from the floor. Chris Jenkins just not getting into the routine. And you wonder against the stronger competition of Wisconsin whether that will be a factor as we go forward. Vern, plenty of time to go.
Let's check in with Allie.
Guys, coach was just telling Jenkins, if the shots are there, take them, but you can go around these guys. Don't feel like you have to settle for a jumper. And if you do go around them, just make sure you keep the dribble alive so you have options out of it.
Thank you, Allie.
When we spoke to Jay Wright, he said, you know, if he's 2 for 7, for example, and he stops shooting, then we got problems. Jay Wright said, and I think this is great for his program, you know, if you have a bad shooting night, we don't, you know, chop your legs out from underneath you. So be it, we play on.
Nigel Hayes. Rebound taken by Mikal Bridges. Brunson.
Well, it was almost a travel, but Brunson got
Sure was.
released the ball.
DiVincenzo adjusted, tipped, no good. Held ball, possession arrow goes to the Badgers. Greg Gard, second-year head coach. Longtime assistant to Bo Ryan at Wisconsin. And Jay Wright, just hard to imagine, 17 years at Villanova.
And we're not aging a day, my friend.
No. I'm trying to think. I was going to say something about he's not wearing the same clothes.
There you go. Brown with a good stroke.
Ethan Happ on the bench with 2 fouls. 25-19. Chris Jenkins getting ready to come back in.
And with the lead at 6, Wisconsin can keep Happ on the bench.
Oof. Showalter went for the steal. Vito Brown was there to take it away.
And Vert, to your point, I don't think Showalter's saying to himself, how did I miss that ball?
Vito Brown, he's fouled. Oh, no, he traveled. And DiVincenzo is a little gimpy when he gets up.
You get a look at him. Is this guy ready to shoot, Brown, or not? Look at his hands, ready for the catch, right to his chest. It's a simple game, and that's the way Wisconsin likes to play it. Give the guy the ball right where he can just basically twist his body slightly, be ready to shoot as you catch and go.
Josh Hart is going to get a rest. Excuse me, Jim. So we've got Brunson and DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, Pascal, and Chris Jenkins on the floor for Villanova. It's pretty good.
Oof, the confidence.
It's pretty good.
He really is. The confidence is just standing out. I mean, they needed everything he gave him against Mount St. Mary's, even though there was other guys chipping in, but his play is stellar for 2 straight games now.
Under 5 to go first half. 4-point Wisconsin lead. Nigel Hayes goes baseline and travel. Back-to-back traveling now on Wisconsin. 7 turnovers.
A little bit like Koenig here. This time different, though, in the sense that he gets his guy moving away from him and then separates with the step back. A little different look to a jump shot compared to Koenig's that just happened to be a quick pull-up jumper.
DiVincenzo, there's the switch. Hayes, wraparound pass. Hell ball, possession arrow. Keep it with Villanova.
Greg Gard loves that defensive execution. Watch here, these 2 guys coming back right on that weak side. They know that you're trying to wrap that basketball around for Pascal, who's down on the blocks, and they defend it well.
A cheapie. They got Bronson Koenig.
Okay, that's 16 fouls against Wisconsin.
Right. So Chris Jenkins will inbound now for the Wildcats, who trail by 4. What about the pace of this first half?
I think it, you know, Villanova is not a run and gun type of team, really, but this, I think it's played so far in the hands of Wisconsin, no question about it, especially if they're going to shoot the basketball like they have been, 4 of 8 from 3 and 10 of 16 from the floor.
Jenkins.
There's going to be a reach before.
Yep.
That's going to put him to the line, even though it's on the floor. Now watch this. This is a reach before he actually runs him over. So the officials were quick to see that hand come in. I think it was Pat Driscoll who made that call.
Foul is called on number 1, Brevin Pritzel.
Watch that left hand. You see the left hand on the body. So he's slowing him down. Everybody on the Wisconsin side will say, well, that was a charge. Well, it would have been if it wasn't for a reach.
Oh, picky.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Watch Masters live on CBSSports.com for exclusive video of Amen Corner, 15 and 16, featured groups plus highlights and analysis. Watch live on CBSSports.com and Masters.com.
Defending champs going full court. Look up, you got a layup. Well, they couldn't get it to him quick enough.
Showalter comes out to get it from Nigel Hayes. 10 on the shot clock. Koenig looks for the screen from Hayes, gets it. 5 on the shot clock. Showalter, catch and release, air ball. Here comes Villanova, trailing by 2. Hart.
Let's see what kind of shot they get, knowing that the situation indicates that they need a good one here.
Chris Jenkins leans in.
Yeah, that's a good no call. He's forcing it a bit.
Yes.
That's a force. That's a guy who's mentally struggling, trying to get off the slide.
He's 1 of 7 in this game. Iverson up, under, and a free throw. They got Dante DiVincenzo with this foul. Greg Gard told Allie after their win the other night he got really good play from Iverson. It continues. For Wisconsin, Vito Brown's had a good first half so far.
He's giving him a nice lift with the entry pass to begin with. Defensively, making it happen. A nice stroke from the floor where he's 3 for 3 and on 3-pointers also.
He'll rest right now, deservedly so. If you missed us coming on the air at the beginning of this game, he did a terrific rendition of One Shining Moment.
I hear that you're going to join him at half.
Only if the band plays really loudly. Yeah, we'd be a heck of an acapella duet.
Ooh, that was flat, wasn't it?
Sure was. Wow. 27-23, 3:20 to go. Happ has played only 6 minutes. But the Badgers have outscored Villanova since his departure from the game with 2 halves. Ooh. Yeah.
That was an impressive step in, help out, weak side defensive effort.
Brevin Pritzel is playing in his 24th game this season. He's averaging 8 minutes when he does play. Let's go back and look at Zach Showalter.
On the weak side. Well, you think he's going to have an easy trip to the basket. Bridges. My goodness, get up off the floor in a hurry.
2:53 to go before the break.
And they continue to track Koenig. They're not just going to let him catch the ball and shoot.
Hayes. Too much.
Wow, look at this effort.
Just enough.
Beautiful. Really well done. There's somebody touching the basketball afterwards. And so look at Hayes. He puts it up, and he knows that it's coming off. Look at him with the little ball fakes. And what that does for you also, Vern, is not only you're trying to get guys to get off the floor, but you're trying to gather your strength in your legs so you can explode towards the basket at the same time.
Jumper Hart. Rebound. Eric Pascal. Foul as Pascal went up.
So they turn the corner on the right side. Here's that look and a big step towards the bucket. And Iverson has no choice but to come in and smack across the hand, and that stops the dunk. And puts a 70% shooter, so percentage-wise, not a bad foul on Wisconsin's part.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, Greg Clark, Wally Zerbiak, and Charles, that would be as in Barkley, we'll have first half analysis and a look at how West Virginia became the first team to make it into the Sweet 16. Plus, a special report from Northwestern's Charlie Hall, his rather famous mom. That's all ahead on AT&T at the half. We had a chance, a bunch of us, including Charles Barkley, when we were at the seminar in New York, to meet Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She was having dinner in our hotel.
Very nice.
Yes, and Mr. Barkley and I said, we can't go over and introduce us. And Charles said no, because celebrities don't like to be bothered. Ernie Johnson was listening. He said, I know her well. Let's go meet her.
Yeah, there you
Say
go.
hello to her.
Ernie taking control again.
Yeah, he did. He does that on TNT quite often. Here's Hart.
Brunson fell in the middle of the floor.
Eric Pascal for 3.
Very nice work, too. Brunson has the ability to set people up very nicely for this team. His first assist on the afternoon won't be his last, is my guess.
Vito Brown controls it. Oh. Brunson left him. Tip. Controlled by Hayes. 1 minute to go. First half.
Well, I think one of the key things with Hayes was he picked up that first foul in the first minute of this game, and he's been able to avoid his second.
Well, Showalter has to adjust and throws it away. Nice defensive job by Jalen Brunson.
There's some nice ball movement here. Look at Brunson. He's going to kick it out here, too. You just bring it to the middle of the floor. You get a lot of collapse defensively from Greg Gard's Wisconsin Badgers team. Very similar, isn't it, to the game against Mount St. Mary's?
It is, yes.
They're playing from behind. They have a chance to go ahead.
Brunson, look at Hayes fly in to grab the rebound unopposed.
Villanova's 1 foul under the limit, too, here with 5 team fouls. So if they do get in trouble, you don't want to give it away, but aggressive play won't hurt them.
Five on the shot clock. Koenig kicks it in the corner. Vito Brown takes the jumper. No.
Whoa, somebody went flying.
Yes.
And it was Iverson who hit the deck. So we take a look and watch. You'll see a red shirt. There he goes. But as mentioned, that was only the 6th team foul.
Foul was on Chris Jenkins. Now Mikal Bridges comes back on and Brunson sits.
And Wisconsin will want to get this ball in bounds, sometimes more difficult than stated, and then sit on it until about the 6-second mark.
Which is right about now.
There you go.
Koenig, he's done that a couple of times.
Boy, he's beautiful. Yeah.
That is inside the arc. That's for 2.
I think Jay Wright called a timeout when that ball went through the net. We'll have to go back and look at that. A little pull, separate, and elevate.
Well, there is a huddle at the scoring table. I believe that they are checking how much time is on the clock. It's listed at 0.4 of a second right now. So the alternate official, Bert Smith, chiming in with his interpretation of how much time was left.
Depending on how quickly they called it.
Yeah. Look left, Jay Wright.
Jay was thinking properly. It'd be interesting how they gave him a half second.
Half second, so
yeah.
0.9. Not a lot you can do with 0.9.
No, but they're pretty good at last second situations, as I recall from last year.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're going to line up.
Well, Vito Brown is going to guard the inbound pass.
Jenkins with the heave.
Oh, boy.
I was online.
It sure was a foot short. Wisconsin jumped out. They broke a 3-3 tie with 6 in a row. Ethan Happ played 6 minutes And here is the last shot from Chris Jenkins for about that long. Snap of the fingers.
Yep.
I thought, could this really go in? Let's go to Allie LaForce, who's with Greg Gard.
Coach, how have you been able to maintain this lead with half on the bench and only 2 made field goals from Hayes?
And we haven't played very well. We're turning the ball over too much. We've given them too much on the offensive glass. You know, we've been able to get something out of our possessions. You know, we've made some plays when we've had to make it. Vito Brown's hit a couple big threes for us. But we got to be a lot better. I mean, that's a heck of a team we're playing. We've been able to survive this first half, as you mentioned, with some foul trouble and giving up some free opportunities.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
I think he's right on. You know, it's funny when you see 8 turnovers, you say we're turning it over too much, but that is too much for Wisconsin and the way they play. They have to cut that in half for the second half of this game.
That is the end of the first half with Wisconsin up by 4. We'll send you to AT at the half after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Buffalo. We start the second half, 31-27. Wisconsin moments ago. Allie LaForce with Villanova coach Jay Wright.
Coach, another uncharacteristic start offensively. How do you overcome it?
Got to hope our defense can hold us in it for a little bit until we can make some buckets. But Wisconsin's a really good defensive team. Got to make some shots.
We saw them go on some big runs, 9-0 to start the game, 8-0 later in the half. How do you avoid those big runs in the second?
Make shots. Really, I mean, they're good offensively. Defensively, they really are. And we're trying to figure it out. You know, we got to get Chris Jenkins going. We got to get Josh going a little bit more. Jalen, we got to get him going. Hopefully, we figured it out at halftime. We'll see.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Well, sir.
I tend to agree with him. He has a couple of things to figure out. He wants to get Brunson and Hart activated, and then you have Jenkins, and that's going to be an interesting question whether he rides him and stays with him or does he sub for him for a guy who's obviously pressing in the first 2 games. That'll be interesting to see what decision Jay Wright makes in the second.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats presented by Buick.
Points in the paint, 14, and if you recall when Virginia Tech and Wisconsin played, one of the things they did with Happ coming back when he had foul trouble early with him and Hayes down on the blocks. Watch for Wisconsin to see if they enter the basketball down there a little bit. And I would think the same thing for Villanova if they can get some touches going to the basket.
Well, talk about the offensive woes. Josh Hart has 10 in the game. The other 4 starters are a combined 1 of 14. Brunson, 1 of 15. Darrell Reynolds, 2 of 16.
And they get an offensive rebound because of a good shot out of a set to start the second half. Brunson just nice and easily comes into a good shooting position, forcing everybody to understand that there's an offensive rebound to be had.
Same kind of first half for Villanova that they did not enjoy against Mount St. Mary's, and they exploded really in the second half. Let's see what happens here. Koenig, 3 on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper.
And as you know, Vern, this is a Big Ten team, not Mount St. Mary's, so it'll be interesting to see how they react.
Bridges from the corner. Reynolds.
Bring it down, you're going to have trouble. Nice effort, though, on the offensive glass by Reynolds.
Ethan Happ is back on the floor. He had the same kind of experience in this game that he had against West Virginia when he picked up 2 fouls and played a total of 10 minutes in the first half. This afternoon, he's played 6. And he is the leader in conference play in almost every statistical category for this Wisconsin team. This is Happ with the ball. He'll drive it.
Boy, that's pretty. Good call, Vern.
Yeah.
Very good call on your part. And I love the isolation to get him out there on the floor. He almost plays more like a 6'5" guy to me at both ends of the floor. Not to diminish his size, but he steals the basketball. He's aggressive, terrific footwork.
Brunson guarded by Koenig. Reynolds back outside to Hart.
Wow.
Too strong. Somebody flashed in front of him defensively.
Yes, just
I
enough.
think it was Showalter.
Yeah, just enough to throw him off.
Here's Happ.
This is the pace of play. Vern, if this was golf, you'd be yelling at me in front of you. They just play nice and slow and methodical, don't they?
4, please.
A little bump. Brunson knows how to get to the lane, gets the call. Notice where this play starts from, and all he's trying to do is keep people moving, and he gets Reynolds one-on-one, and he gets him leaning just a touch with that little bit of a fake handoff towards the middle of the floor.
Dimitri Trice.
Yeah, they're nice and patient, though, Villanova now. They know where their shots have to come from. Little drive in action.
And Ethan Happ had to back off.
He did. It's a smart play. Give up a bucket right there, Vern, because you do not want to take your third foul with 17 minutes plus on the clock. Throws your entire approach mentally off to the second half.
Here's Nigel Hayes. Beautiful.
It's exactly what they did against Virginia Tech the other night. You recall they came out and they just started banging it down to the blocks as much as they possibly could. And they're going to continue to do that.
Take a look at Pascal a moment ago.
Yeah, nice drive and a redirect just then, because he had it shifted back to his strong hand, and Hayes just powers in there on the right side. So both of these teams are saying, let's condense the floor a little bit, pack it in, and go for it on the offensive side.
That is the third on Bronson Koenig, so he has to head to the bench.
Nice cut.
Brunson, Showalter bumped him a little bit, but there was no call. The basket is good.
Without Koenig out there, this is going to be a real test for Wisconsin.
Happ trying to establish that low post presence. Mikal Bridges on him. That's the definition of closely guarded.
Vern, when you're playing and defending this area underneath your own basket, you do not want one of these types of cuts right here. And that's because the rest of the floor, the players on the floor, all spread out. It was like a 4 guys removed from the middle of the floor, allows you to beat one guy to the basket.
Showalter.
This is zone action here for Villanova, too. Make it a little bit more difficult to get it to Hayes on the blocks. They're going to squeeze him.
That goes right over the head of Happ. No foul called.
Look at how quick.
Yes.
Vern, did you notice when he caught the basketball on the rebound, which I thought was interesting, how fast he didn't explode into his jump, but the shot actually was in the air almost by the time he was off the floor.
Nice spin move.
Wow.
Oh, Happ took a chance.
He did. He sure did.
Oh, boy.
Aggressively went after that, especially with his partner sitting on the bench.
This is Dimitri Trice, freshman from Dayton, Ohio. Here's Happ.
Oh, nice pivot foot.
Well, they tried to pass underneath to Happ. Yep. No charge. He tried to take one. Didn't work.
So look at Happ. Watch how fast this ball comes in towards the basket. Beautifully done. He didn't get it way up to the rim, but released it fast. And then he plays some D at the other side.
Coming in April, legends and lore in another worldly setting. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS from historic Augusta National. We got to get you down there.
I know. This may be the year, possibly.
It's kind of fun.
I would think.
Yeah. At the line, Villanova, Josh Hart. He shoots 2. He's in double figures already. 10 points at the break. Trice, by the way, off the bench, picked up his third foul for Wisconsin. So 2 on the bench. Most significantly, I think most would agree, is Bronson Koenig.
And that's why they're trying to press, because he's a pretty good ball handler in his own right.
Trice is still out there. Got the ball in his hands right now. Nigel Hayes back in a man-for-man.
Trying to get their touches on the blocks if they can.
6 on the shot clock. Turn around. No. Shot clock violation.
There might have been a push before that, though, Vern.
Aha.
Let's take a look there. I think it was. And the facial expression with Josh Hart doesn't indicate to me that it's against him, I should say. So he gets the shot up. So it's not a shot clock violation that hits the rim, and Hart gives a little bit of a push. Here's on this, you see that forearm just enough. Wasn't a full extension, but just enough, and the officials are standing right there. That ball did hit the rim too, on the way down, I believe.
I thought it did.
Shot up.
Oh, not so sure. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Off,
yes, it did.
Off the deflection off the glass.
Half. Fights hard for the ball. Held ball. Possession arrow. Villanova.
I'm not sure the Villanova bench is going to like that call. I don't know if there was possession that fast just then. Let's take a look. Does Happ have possession? All right, maybe he did. From that look, he had it on the way down with Hart. Close, though. Could have been close over the back, too.
He picks up a foul. That's third. His third.
Oh.
Happ and Koenig on the bench. They'll understand this in Wisconsin. That is an oofta. Hart.
We'll watch him take over.
Yeah, here we go.
Yep, this is his time.
We're tied with 14:38 to go.
No Jenkins on the floor either. So we're going to play with guys who have a little bit more confidence right now.
Trice. DiVincenzo on him.
And Wisconsin's going to have to figure out a way to keep this close for a while with those guys with the foul troubles. Another shot clock. Look up.
Oh, it hit the official, didn't it? And it's thrown away.
Yeah, but the official is in bounds. It's okay.
Eric Paschal.
Let's see if the official's in play. He's on the court, 2 feet on the court.
So left ear. Yeah. I'm kind of familiar with that.
It's dangerous here today,
I'm telling you. Basketball's going all over the place.
That West Virginia warm-up, they sent one flying at us, and you got hit with it.
Look at that. Trice, Koenig, and Happ. Koenig is back, playing with 3 fouls, 14 to go in the game. Showalter, Vito Brown is back.
And I think that's a good substitution for Wisconsin, putting Koenig back in the floor. He's a senior. He should be under control and make sure he doesn't do anything needlessly, especially at the defensive end.
3 on the shot clock. Pull up.
Oh, wait a minute now. This is going to be interesting. It sure is.
4th foul.
Yep. That's needless. You did not need that right there, and he knows it. Terrific decision defensively by Villanova. I think it's a good, when you in the college game, I think it's a good call, but I think when you start to elevate like that, I think you have to give him some room.
See Chris Jenkins' reaction. In a tie game, Greg Gard had Bronson Koenig on the floor for less than 2 minutes.
Yes, and Jenkins, who's 1 of 7, may have made the biggest play of the game so far.
Off the glass, Villanova leads. Brunson with the basket.
You see, now what happens there is Jenkins makes a good defensive play. His teammates recognize it, and they know one of the starters is going to be out for a long while, so it gives your team a real lift.
Nigel Hayes, and that's a fool. Take a look at Brunson first.
Beautiful hesitation, that herky-jerky style of getting his shot off. The bench loves it.
That foul was on Hart. That's his third. He'll go say hello to Jay Wright. Iverson, Trice.
Good
Touch
execution.
pass. Yes, it was. How about the patience of Nigel Hayes?
Absolutely, Vern. Right on it. If he goes initially when he catches it, he gets that thing deflected or blocked. But to your point, with the patience of just laying back, just for a fraction, he can see people go flying by him.
Here's Jenkins. At long last.
Exactly, but don't try to shoot your way back in from the perimeter when you're struggling. Go to the basket with it. If he starts to play a little bit better now, Villanova has a lot more jump in their step.
Vito Brown. Hayes, mismatch.
Good kick. What happened there?
Not sure. Iverson, he's going to shoot two.
I couldn't tell whether Showalter just tripped over his own feet. So here he is, he steps. Oh, he had his foot stepped on, no wonder why. Missed call there.
Yes. Iverson, over the course of the season, only 55% from the line, but against Virginia Tech the other night, 7 of 10. Gets that one. So a 1-point game, he can tie it with this next attempt. DiVincenzo, Brunson, Jenkins, Pascal, Josh Hart for the defending national champions. Here comes Brunson.
Vern, I used that phrase, herky-jerky, the last time he went to the basket, and he's so powerful and strong. It's 6'3", 190, but watch him adjust with the strength in the air. A lot of guys get weaker when they go up into the air. He holds his strength and gets stronger. And here's Hart flipping one off the glass. And Jenkins, the big guy, starting to kind of get it together for Villanova.
Look on the left. Koenig and Happ, two of the stars of this Wisconsin team, in foul trouble. Trice off the bench with 3.
And Happ is back on the court right now, Vern, and I like that decision also. With Villanova up 3 right now. I don't think you have any choice but to put him on the floor.
Yep. Jalen Brunson with the free throw.
A 2-3 look from Villanova. They got Hayes in the middle.
There he is.
And they're looking to skip it down to Happ if they can.
Jumper for Showalter, in and out. Iverson with a rebound.
Boy, he's given them a good effort in the last 2, hasn't he, Vern?
Yes, he has. Here's Hayes again. Guarded by Jenkins. Ooh.
Hayes doesn't mess around in there, does he? He likes to challenge people.
Well, he's been such a terrific
Yes.
player for this Wisconsin team.
He really has been.
As we mentioned earlier, 149 games.
This is where he's had a little bit of an issue at the line.
What issue? It's perfect. You're being picky.
Sorry.
You're being overly critical. Come on, Nigel. I'm not rooting. I'm just hoping he could have made them both.
Okay. Oh, I never root against them. I like to see everybody make them.
Absolutely, you bet.
Just stating the facts. Want to let them get in the way of a good story anyway, right?
Brunson. Whoa, he's got a couple of moves in there, doesn't he?
He does. Sure
but
does.
the ball had a couple of moves, too.
Yeah, it's amazing how well Brunson, probably as good as any guard I've seen, keeps his pivot foot alive and just does that like pirouette move. Iverson out front. Watch him put on the brakes, Vern. He puts that right foot down. Now he can't put the right foot up.
Right.
And boy, does he get a lot of mileage on it. Legally, though.
Wisconsin with 12 turnovers now. Team fouls, the Badgers 7, Villanova 5.
That's just about what the Badgers turn it over during the course of the game, of the season on average, 11 and a half.
Hart, 2 more.
He's good. He's good at a couple of things, obviously. Driving to the basket. But Vern, did you see how he had to regather at the last second and then puts the shot up if the defenders have gone by him?
We're getting some mainline enthusiasm behind the Villanova bench, which will...
Breakaway.
At the other end, Showalter. Careful.
Oh, close. That could have been a big mistake there by DiVincenzo. Some of the Wisconsin fans thought there should have been a call, I guess.
Yeah, I heard them. I did hear them. (46-43). Hart. Iverson knocks it near the band.
This is a big turnaround. A little soft jumper from 8 feet or so. And Happ does a wonderful job of recognizing that Showalter didn't get back into that play because he got hit, if you recall, down the other end of the floor.
Well, that shot rejected. It came close to the Villanova band. Josh Hart the other night made himself part of the Villanova band. Remember this?
I do.
There's the hurdle. High there. You know what? You can't play in the band unless you have a trumpet. And here's yours. Allie, how about that trumpet player?
Well, we found him. His name's Johnny DiValero. He said he had 25 texts after the game. And he said he was so excited because it shows you the character of all the players. And he said, I always knew they were good guys, but to see it firsthand was so cool. When Josh Hart brought the trumpet back over, that was the coolest moment he's experienced since watching this team play.
Ball is tipped by Showalter. Here's Iverson. Happ. Back outside to Nigel Hayes. Nice.
Sure was. And Iverson creating the action on the right side. This is a very good passing basketball team, as we've identified already. And how about Happ catching that ball inside and going to his partner outside for the easy jumper for Hayes.
9:16 remaining in the game. Winner goes to Madison Square Garden in New York. DiVincenzo will get a rest. Here's Brunson. Brunson, Hart, Mikal Bridges, Chris Jenkins, and Eric Paschal, the 5 on the floor for Villanova.
The size advantage here.
Turnaround jumper off the front rim. Dimitri Trice.
Jay Wright has his guys identifying the mismatches, and they're going to them, but they're just not converting down low.
Nigel Hayes. No double this time. Back outside.
Good reaction, Villanova on the perimeter.
8 on the shot clock.
Oh, that's a foul.
And they're going to get Jenkins for the foul.
Ooh. Trice took a pretty good hit, too. So he was coming to his right, and Jenkins jumped to his right. Watch Jenkins going to come to his left or right. That's where he gets him shoulder on chin just then. Here we go. Watch. Boom. It's a non-contact sport, though, Vern.
Of course. Of course it is. Jenkins on the bench. So is Pascal. Now we got Darrell Reynolds back on the floor. DiVincenzo got a very brief respite from play. Oh my gosh. Thought it was going. It does the second time.
He's quick the second time. He gets two things in his favor. He knows that the ball was not going to go in, so he's preparing himself instantaneously to go get the rebound, and then he springs into it much quicker than anybody else on that play.
How about this Wisconsin team? Happ is playing with 3 fouls. How about this Villanova team?
Yeah, Wisconsin playing through the adversity of the fouls, and Villanova playing through the adversity of the pressure of being a defending national champ, and they're responding.
There's the double with Brunson. They're back. Hart fronting Nigel Hayes.
If there's nothing there on the offensive set, Wisconsin just looks past it if you're not open.
Outside again. Hayes for 3. Not there. Rebound DiVincenzo. He had 13 rebounds off the bench the other night. Here's Brunson. Crossover.
Big possession here, Vern, just to give them a little space.
There's for 3. No.
He'll take that one, though, because it went towards the basket. He was wide open, just missed his shot. He's a good shooter from the outside. About 34% for a freshman, not too shabby.
7:10 to go. Trice. DiVincenzo thought it was going to be Villanova ball. It's not. It goes to the Badgers with 7:05 remaining. Villanova trailed at the half by 4. They have outscored Wisconsin by 7 in this half. Look at the difference in free throws.
Yeah, it's a big number, especially when you shoot it at 80% as a team, and only 8 attempts with the 3 makes by Wisconsin.
Well, we mentioned in the first half how poorly Wisconsin shoots from the line. They are 320-something out of 350 in Division I basketball. 65%. Happ fouled by Reynolds.
Yeah, pretty set there by Wisconsin after that out-of-bounds play.
Ethan Happ, 6'10" sophomore, second-team All-American. And like his teammates, he's not exactly excellent from the line.
No, he's not.
Shocking, 50% for the year.
Jay Wright continues to keep that revolving door going to keep fresh players on the floor. Oh, that's long. Ooh, almost banked it in.
Yeah.
Almost shot that one as if he wanted to get off the line.
Brunson. Hart. DiVincenzo kicks it. No call, but he got the basket. Eric Pascal. And the lead is 4.
Yep, DiVincenzo, another lift for them in terms of driving it towards the basket. He got happy and guarded by Hart down low.
Foul is on DiVincenzo.
Here comes the action. A little screen here. Now watch this strong cut, but watch what Happ has to do, how far he has to travel to get back, and he does it fairly well. And interesting enough with Happ, his athletic ability allows him to jump and separate, so he didn't get body on the drive to the shooter.
Well, there you are. He's now 3 of 6 on the bench. He's been there since the 13.5-minute mark. Bronson Koenig. At what point do you say, okay, I'm going to roll the dice and put him back?
I think you're talking maybe another minute and a half, possibly, depending on what Villanova does in a couple of possessions. The other good part of it is this game has been so slow back and forth that they'll take some extra time off. You'll get to the 5-minute mark relatively quickly, and then you can put him in. It's probably 2 possessions.
DiVincenzo, pull-up jumper.
Money. Playing above his years, there's no question about that.
Boy, is he impressive.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier, missed almost all of last season, played the first 8 games, had a foot problem, was was given a medical red shirt, so he is a red shirt freshman. Hap.
Koenig is sitting at the scorer's table too, Vern.
Yeah.
Brunson with a pretty cut to the basket. Now he uses his body going strongly and making things happen. Finally, Jenkins gets that little 15-footer to go, a little drive to the basket, trying to get him untracked as much as they possibly can. But Nova in good shape, relatively speaking, Vern, up 5 right here.
Yep.
Hap has to sit on that line and don't walk away from his shots.
There you see the difference in the free throw percentages rather. For Wisconsin, 65%. Villanova, #1 in the country, 79%. And those percentages have been reflected today.
Yeah, same amount of attempts, just about 100+ more makes.
4-point game, 5:37 to go, and Bronson Koenig is back on the floor. This is him guarding DiVincenzo. Well, attempting to guard DiVincenzo.
Boy, talk about ice veins, huh? My goodness, he just came right up and took control of that like he's in the backyard by himself.
Timeout, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm just speechless partially, Vern, because boom, he's just attacking and he knows Koenig's not going to come out and try to block his shot with his 4 fouls. Good decision by the youngster.
We'll start the lineup tonight with the Infinity Tip-Off Show on TNT. Northwestern Gonzaga on CBS. Also have games on TNT and TBS as our collaboration continues with Turner Sports. During the timeout, Jim.
Well, you have first Hart, now Brunson talking to DiVincenzo about how well he's playing, and now he kicks back and says, let's keep it going, guys. Good energy in there. And, you know, Jay Wright has these guys all on the same page. And the one thing I can say, Vern, is that when you watch them play, you never really get the feeling that anybody out there has to be the leading scorer. Whoever happens to be the leading scorer, they're happy with that. So it's a sign of success.
Nigel Hayes off the glass. And the margin is 5. And that comes with 5 minutes remaining.
And that was a little drive to the basket after the Wisconsin timeout just then. But watch for that. They'll start to hit the ball down to him in the blocks. Not a good shot there.
No. And Hap playing carefully. He's got 3 fouls. Koenig is on the floor with 4. They are joined by Showalter, Vito Brown, and Nigel Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes and Hap are trying to go high-low. One guy at the free throw line, the other guy ducking down for a pass from the high spot.
Brunson knocks it out of bounds. Watching the big dance calls for big refreshment. So grab a delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola and enjoy the game. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. 11 on the shot clock. Villanova has upped it a notch in the second half. Koenig.
Yep. He's terrific going both ways off the dribble. Beautiful setup to get the defender thinking he wants to drive and go to his left, and he knew exactly what spot on the floor he wanted to stop and pump.
Back to a 3-point margin.
Out to the basket.
Blocked by Nigel Hayes.
Yeah, that wasn't Hart's most explosive move to the basket. Koenig with the little separation, and there's that block defensively, and here's the separation by Koenig. Beautiful. Look at how much space to get the jumper off.
Villanova, Wisconsin playing a 1 versus an 8 in the East region. Winner goes to New York, where they will play on Friday. And the winner of this one will get either Florida or Virginia. They're meeting in Orlando on TNT. Jay Wright, 17 years at Villanova. Prior to that, Hofstra was an assistant to a guy named Rolly Massimino at Villanova and then at UNLV. That one is going to be Wisconsin's ball. Well, he only plays 7, but gosh, Jay Wright gets him in and out, doesn't he?
Seems like he's playing 15.
I know. Now Nigel Hayes will inbound to Brunson Koenig. Happ, Showalter, Vito Brown. So you've got 4 seniors and a sophomore on the floor for the Badgers.
Yep, and they're going against a matchup zone defense. Looks like a man-to-man, but it converts to a zone as the passes are made.
Nigel Hayes turns the corner. From the corner, yes!
Smooth as silk, the way he shoots the basketball. Just incredible. Beautiful set by Wisconsin, too, to milk the clock, to get their spacing appropriate, and have a big, find a small shooter in the corner.
7 unanswered for Wisconsin. We're tied with 3:04 to go. Hart.
They get the second guy. That might be.
Happ is down.
Yeah, okay.
And he's very slow getting back up. Caught one on the nose, it appears.
And we know that Hart loves to drive, and he's hit and then actually hit by Hayes and hit into Happ. And Happ takes the worst.
Hart is 7 of 8 from the line today.
75% shooter on the season, Vern.
The #1 free throw shooting team in the country. Three minutes. Showalter.
Well, it's not a trap at half court, so the guards just have to dribble it up the court and get into their offensive sets.
Vito Brown looks inside for Happ. There was a cut, but a little late. Back outside. Koenig.
He knows he can't drive with that 4th foul on him.
Exactly. Here's Happ, who's got 3.
Big guy can put it on the floor. That's a huge, huge weapon in an offense where they space the floor so well.
Timeout. Villanova.
With the offense they play, Vern, it's perfect for Happ with his skill level in terms of being able to separate, get a big guy moving for the go-ahead point.
Ethan Happ, the basket has put Wisconsin up by 1. Koenig with 4 fouls. Pascal for Villanova. Each team, Happ and Price for Wisconsin with 3 each. Hart and Bridges for 3 each.
Little lob.
Oh my gosh! Happ is going to pick up his 4th foul.
What a great bounce they get out of this Villanova. They go for the quick-hitting lob play. They go over the top for a guy who can get off the floor, and Happ basically reads it perfectly. It doesn't come down with the basketball. And DiVincenzo just enough of the contact to get it to flip over to Pascal, who goes to the line.
1 more. We're tied. He's a 69% free throw shooter. 2 of 3 in this game. Jenkins on the bench now. DiVincenzo, Brunson, Hart, Pascal. 1 of 2. Look at Happ. Get position.
Yeah, Vernon, I know 2:20 is a lot of time left in a basketball game, but you think about the possessions. There's not many possessions left until one of these teams has to go into a fouling mode if they're behind at some point. But each possession now, but 4 each, will be very important.
Hayes, too strong. Gets his own rebound and comes out of that scrum somehow. .202 to go.
Eight seconds on the shot clock. Important to try to get this to a guard within a couple of seconds, if not on the entry pass.
Koenig.
Nice pop.
He sat on the bench for almost 11 minutes with his fourth foul. Brunson.
The uncanny ability to get his shot off.
A one-point game with 93 seconds to go. Hat. Koenig. Greg Gard wants to chat with his team. Timeout, Wisconsin. Happ and Koenig each with 4 for Wisconsin. Pascal with 4 for Villanova. 124 remaining in this one. And the Badgers have a 1-point edge 3 times since 2010. Villanova has been knocked out in the round of 32 in 2010, 2014, and 2015, and each time they were either a number 1 or 2 seed.
No need for the quick here to look for a little squeeze to the middle of the post. Well, they're guarding it pretty well. They've defended. He's got to go with it.
There it is. Not this time. Rebound, Mikal Bridges. 1 minute to go.
Steadying influences on the floor with Brunson and Hart.
And a red-hot freshman in DiVincenzo.
Here comes the drive by Hart. Well defended.
Double team.
Travel. Yep. Hart's their go-to guy. Jay Wright loves to have him with the basketball, and here's how he drives it. Watch where he loses his balance. You see that one quick step with his right foot? The left foot was the pivot foot. He couldn't plant with the right. They need a straight-up defensive effort here. Plenty of time on the clock.
Ethan Happ on the bench. Here's Hayes, Koenig. He goes for the steal. DiVincenzo, and there is a foul called on Nigel Hayes.
Vern, that all starts. The Wisconsin problem is where you stop on the basketball court. And that's exactly over here where Koenig stopped and throws the ball because he's pressured.
36.4 remaining. And there's a conference with the officials away from the scoring table.
I guess there was a quick grab.
Yeah. They called Nigel Hayes for grabbing DiVincenzo.
There's the tip.
And there's...
Was it intentional?
Well, the conversation continues.
Yeah.
They definitely called a foul.
There's the reach out, the grab. You see, you have the double tip.
Well, no explanation forthcoming as of yet as to what the conversation was. Pat Driscoll's going to make his way over to us.
He has control of the basketball. Our discussion had to do with team control. In our determination, 10 White had the ball. Okay?
So they were,
right, sir?
Yeah, they were questioning whether 10 at the free throw line, DiVincenzo had the basketball or not to call that foul, because could have been no one could have had control on that play, but they deemed that he did.
Shooting 2. Gets the first. We're tied. Happ is back in for the Badgers. With 36.4 left. One more for Villanova. Rebound. Hap and the Badgers in a tie game with 30 seconds to go.
Wisconsin with 1 timeout, Villanova with 2. And remember, this is basically an experienced team as they go for their timeout and their last one at Wisconsin.
Badgers have the ball, 20.3 left in regulation. A 6.3 second difference. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. What do you do here?
Well, this is pretty straight up, Vern, in terms of the strategy here. When you're Wisconsin, what you want to do is you want to focus on taking as much time as you need, as they do normally, to get their shot up with a tie basketball game. If you're Villanova, what you need to be thinking about is if they score, you have 2 timeouts left. Jay Wright will utilize those as best he can, even if you get a rebound, if you get in trouble.
Here's Koenig.
And the possession arrow is with Villanova, so they can hold on to it if they get a rebound.
Nigel Hayes. Wow.
And they elect to use that first timeout just there.
What a move.
So we've seen Hayes, and Greg Gard has really shifted his thought process, Vern, to go to the big guys in the second half of the Virginia Tech game, and here again in this game, and Hayes has answered to put Wisconsin up by a pair.
Villanova still with 1 timeout remaining. And they trail by 2 with 11.4 to go. What's your call?
Well, my call is that with this amount of time, now you're going to full court, so you got to push this ball up in a hurry. If you can get something going to the basket very quickly, go for it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Jay Wright also gets this up across the court in 2 or 3 seconds and calls another timeout. But read it quickly and go towards the basket with the basketball. If you have to kick it out for a mid-range jumper or a 3, that's perfectly fine. Now, from Wisconsin's perspective, though, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Here you see these guys are coming up. Why are they coming up? Because they don't want to allow a little pitch in, right? You don't want a little roll. So Villanova can catch the basketball and roll it up to half court without taking any time. So there's the dribble. The clock starts.
Hart.
There's a drive.
Takes it all the way. Half with a block.
Easy with the elbows right now, especially with 3.4. Jay Wright's call usually is to get Hart moving. He's got a big guy here coming with him, Hap. Oh, that was the reach in by Brown. And I don't believe he gets the arm. I think he gets all ball right there.
Vito Brown. First time at the line with 3.4 seconds left.
76% on the year, Vern.
He began this afternoon's telecast by singing "One Shining Moment."
Great point.
And singing it very well.
There's another verse. How big is this? Jay Wright's going to freeze him at the free throw line.
Villanova's final timeout.
One free throw away, too, from knocking the defending champ. They're staggering right now. They're hoping for a miss and a quick hit.
Let's go back and revisit Nigel Hayes, and what a great move right there.
Yeah, it sure was. A terrific, and I mean terrific, hesitation to get the defender to stand straight up. Hart tries to go through the lane. You see 2 hands on the ball. Brown gets it, and then there's the quick foul. That's a good call there. And it's tough when you're going through the traffic like that. I'm sure the Villanova team wanted that call on Hart, but I saw 2 hands on the ball.
Vito Brown will shoot one more.
Well, you want to make sure if there is a miss right now that Wisconsin kind of stays away from the ball, because down the floor You can also go to the fouling mode, too.
Rebound, DiVincenzo.
Oh, they double-teamed him.
Wisconsin will go to New York City. They have knocked out the defending national champions. And the Badgers end this game on a 15-5 run.
So we get the missed free throw, and notice that the two defenders close on DiVincenzo, and they don't allow him to make that, even if they foul him there, Vern. Remember, they're up 3 points. And he just has no place to go with he's trying to pitch it to half court. No place to go, and Brunson really can't even get a shot off.
My goodness.
Great game preparation, and Wisconsin executed it.
Out of the force with the guy who had the game-winning basket, Nigel Hayes.
Nigel, congratulations on the win and the game-winning bucket. Take me back to that last time out with 20 seconds left. This game is tied up. What were you guys drawing up?
We wanted to get me isolated on the wing. I felt like I could take them the way they've been playing the game. They've been crowding me, so I knew I would have the baseline. I drove baseline, and if you guys are familiar with a Michael Jordan highlight, the fake spin back, I did my fake spin back, got to my left hand, fortunately it went in.
You're a senior. It's your 4th consecutive Sweet 16 trip. Why will this year be special?
Because we had to work hard for it, and it definitely means a lot, to our team. A lot of the guys, especially in my senior class, have been told we weren't able to accomplish anything on our own because we didn't have the likes of, our seniors, Frank, Sam, Josh, Trey, and Duye. We love those guys, but we know that we can do something on our own.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, the second team into the Sweet 16, Wisconsin. And all they're going to do is go to Madison Square Garden and take on either Virginia or Florida. What a game. Coming up next here on CBS, Northwestern and Gonzaga from Salt Lake City. For Jim Spanarkel and Allie the Force, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Buffalo. We'll send you to our New York studio after these messages.